Today we are going to show you some of the top places you want to see when you visit Tuscany. Where we are starting the day is in San Gimignano.
Yes, the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So we're excited to be here, to say the very least. Now, San Gimignano is known for its many towers. Back in the 12th and 13th century, the most affluent families built these towers. Whoever had the biggest was the best, right? Well, most of those are gone. Now, there's still 13 left. And I believe we can go up on one of them for a small fee and check out the scenery.
Right.
But you don't have to.
You don't have to. There are some panoramic sites to also just overlook the countryside. So we are going to check those out as well. But one of the things that this area is known for is the beautiful hillsides around it in the wine region. So, if it costs you a few euro to get up into those towers, it might be worth it. So one of the things that really stands out right away, which I love, is all the narrow pathways that you can walk, the narrow streets, the cobblestone streets, and just seeing all the places where people are still living, so you see the residences and everything.
Yeah, and an added bonus, we're in the shade too. It's supposed to be really hot today.
So if shopping is your thing, there's plenty of that to do here, and not just that touristy kind, it's actually some really cool shops, great souvenirs to take home with you.
I'm kind of liking the his and her flower vases, the large flower vases. I don't think we can get those home.
No,
but
we're in
you
our
might be
carry-on
able
luggage.
to. I'm sure they'll ship it to your house if you'd like to like those. They're pretty cool.
They're pretty cool. They're very colorful. So one thing there are a lot of here is a lot of cheese stands and meat stands and little shops to go into and sample wine, and just a lot to do.
Michelin star restaurants as well.
Yes.
So if you're really hungry, you can do that.
You can do that. Now, the other thing they are known for is the world famous gelato here right in the main square. And so we just got some of that, and we are going to give that a try. I've not tried mine yet. Brian has.
I've tried
What do you
mine.
think of it?
I think it's delicious. I got a cone, of course, because I'm not an old person.
I get a
Carrie got a cup.
because I want to eat it slow and not have it drip down my hand.
Yeah, well, you lick the sides. It's
He's
more
just
fun that
way
way.
faster than I am.
Yeah.
So these weren't bad. These are €3.50 and you get 2 different flavors in there. So not bad.
I got lemon and champagne.
And I got mango and
You
lemon.
got lemon too.
Lemon
Might
and
have to try
mango.
that mango. It sounds delicious.
Okay, so Brian is a bigger fan of gelato than I am. I do like gelato.
I love gelato.
But, yeah, he loves gelato. That's why he eats it a lot faster than I do. Oh man. Just coming from Southeast Asia, this is actually amazing mango gelato. It tastes just like a fresh mango. So let me try the, Brian has his mouth open behind the camera right now because he wants to sample of mine. What I will say about this gelato, it is way more creamy than so many of the gelatos that I've had. It is worth, I think they deserve the world famous title. So I'll give Brian a sample. We've had a lot of questions from people asking us about bathroom availability at places, and I will say that here in San Gimignano, you have no problem. You probably are going to pay to get into them, but there are signs everywhere for bathrooms.
This is something that's always interesting to me in these medieval ancient towns. The people actually live here. There's 6,000 to 7,000 people that actually live right here within the city walls.
So now the amount of time that you need to visit and kind of enjoy the town of San Gimignano would probably be around 2 hours.
Yeah.
We've been here for about that amount of time. We were able to kind of hurry our way through. If you want more time, absolutely allow that. But if you need to squeeze as much as you can of Tuscany into one day, you might only have 2 hours.
You need to get a move on it, and if you want gelato, I'd recommend you doing it right when you get here. The line does get long, and I've seen a lot of people eating gelato.
We had breakfast gelato.
We had breakfast gelato.
We've now found our way to the next place that you want to visit, and that is Monteriggioni.
It's an old fortress that was built back in the 12th century to defend Siena.
We are just going to explore around here. It's a very small area, but there is a wall that you could walk on top of and kind of take a look over the countryside. So there's not a whole lot to see when you are here, but one of the things that you do want to do is go up onto the wall. It is €5 per person to go do that. There is a wall on one end of the town and then another wall on the other end of the town. The one we're going to go up to now is the small one, and then you go to the other one. So probably worth €5 just to kind of be able to see over the countryside.
So for those of you that have watched our videos in the past, you'll know I have a slight fear of heights, but so far this is looking pretty fortified. I like the structures of the beam. I like the steel. I very much like the railing, so I think we're going to be okay.
If not for anything else, just coming up onto this lookout, you get a cute little view over the little city. I believe that there is only 60 people that actually live inside the walls. Obviously outside of there's other areas that they live, but that's kind of interesting. That just kind of gives you an idea of how small it actually is. Now, as you can see, this town is quite small. It is a great stopover town to take us to the next location we are headed to. So if you are traveling through the area, make sure and stop in.
Yes, absolutely. It's more of a village than a town.
Yeah, true.
But I'm also sure that on our next destination, they're gonna have something to drink because I am dying of thirst.
We are dying of thirst. The next must-do thing here is to stop off in the Chianti region and go to a winery.
Yes.
Do a wine tasting, maybe have some lunch, and that's where we are right now. We just had a fantastic lunch, a great wine tasting.
It was much more than we expected, honestly. We got 4 fantastic wines. Now, these wines were more than we could afford to buy a bottle of. We considered it, but it would have blown our budget. But this was very much worth it, and I would highly suggest Chianti region, the Tuscany region, get out in the countryside, taste that wine.
Right, and you kind of are driving to go to these locations anyways. You're driving right through this area, so you gotta stop at one of the wineries. It's pretty easy.
It's easy.
1 or 2. Now the next spot we are at is Siena. Siena is one that is probably top on most people's lists when they are looking at places to visit in Tuscany, and I can see why.
Yeah, no, they're known for a lot of things. One of the most important things they're known for is their white wine, so we probably sample a little bit of that. But their cathedrals and their churches, they're magnificent. So we're going to check some of those out while we're here.
So we are standing now in the center of Siena in the square, the main square. Kind of an interesting fact about this is twice a year on July 2nd and on August 16th, which happened to be yesterday, they have a horse race here right around the center. Is it 10 horses?
It's 10 horses, 16 neighborhoods within Siena are represented. Only 10 horses get to race, and it's a big deal. The winning horse, the winning neighborhood celebrates for I don't know, a few days anyway. But right now, you know, we're in the heat of the moment right now.
Literally.
It's about 95 degrees right now on August 17th. The one thing that I'm already noticing that I like about Siena is the streets are narrow, the buildings are tall, and there's a lot of shade.
There's a lot of shade. So as we are walking around the center here and showing it to you, just keep in mind, they still have not dismantled everything, and so you still kind of see a little bit of the remnants of the race.
Yeah,
so
we missed
pretty cool.
We missed it by one day.
That would have been fun.
If we had known.
Now there is a tower that you can climb here. It is one of the most famous landmarks here in Siena. We are not going to choose to do that, mainly because of the temperatures today. It is 400 steps up. I'm sure you have an amazing view over the city. It is, my understanding, it's 10 euro to go up in. So a little, that's a bit high.
That's a bit high. And 400 steps might sound like a lot, and it is. That's a lot of steps.
And especially in the temperature. So yeah, we're gonna pass on that one. There are a lot of other things that you can see here, so not a lack of that.
Let's go see them. I might find some gelato too again, because
or a beer.
Yes.
Yeah. Now there is a beautiful cathedral to go into here. Unfortunately, today is one of the more expensive days to go in and see everything. And actually, when we looked online to purchase our tickets, they were sold out for today. It ranges really from what we saw, around from $9.50 up to $18.50, depending on time of year and the day of the week.
Right, and we're here in August, like we said, so that's going to be the higher end of those prices, of course, with all the tourists. So come in the off season and you'll get a better price.
Right. So we will put the information down below, the website to go to purchase your tickets ahead of time. And then once again, if you are doing, say, a tour that brings you here, you can include that as part of your package as well.
So like we were saying, in each of the 16 neighborhoods, they have a flag that represents their neighborhood. And this is obviously the neighborhood of this flag. And we're not sure which neighborhood actually won the horse race. We should find that out.
Now, Siena is a place that you want to definitely allow yourself a little bit more time to travel through and to see everything. It's a bigger city than the last two places that we showed you.
Yeah, we're not going to get everything done here in the amount of time we have that we might like to get done. You might want to spend 3 or 4 hours, I would say, if you want to tour through all the cathedrals and the churches and things that you need to pay for to get into. It might be worth doing.
It would be. And it would be a place that you could honestly go ahead and settle here and then explore the areas around as well. It would be good for that. And the final place that you want to make sure and visit is Florence. And that's where we are right now and where we are staying.
Yeah, and now if you've noticed a scene change, I think we're wearing different clothes. I got a haircut. This video did not end the way we had originally planned. We got stuck in an absolute monsoon rainstorm.
Now, we were with a tour. And so we were on a bus with a bunch of people, and the bus was not parked right into the town.
Nope.
And boy, it started to not just rain, it was torrential downpour, and we were all sopping wet for the hour-and-a-half bus ride back to Florence.
It was a good half mile of the bus.
Yeah.
We were soaked head
running
to toe.
Yeah, so there was just not, we weren't going to finish it in that situation. We didn't mention that through this whole video, that we were on a tour doing this. That is one way that you get to see some of these towns very easily. It was a great tour. It ran us $70 each, and that included the wine and the lunch and everything. We felt that that was such a great value.
The transportation alone made things way easier than renting a car or doing anything any different than what we did.
So now, if you have not seen our Florence video that we had out last week, be sure and check that out so you can see everything that is to see in Florence, because it's a beautiful city. All right, cheers.